A fight between WrestleMania went on last night. I didn't watch a damn second of it. Not my thing. No. Although I know the audience loves it. But a Carmelo Charles Oakley WrestleMania match. Now that'd be interesting.
It don't even have to be WrestleMania. I just want to see him fight in the parking lot.
I would pay money for that.
I would pay top dollar to see that.
Wait,
Charles Oakley and Carmelo fighting in the parking lot of a strip club. How much would you pay for that?
50-year-olds to fight.
It's a fair.
They gotta bend gay up before they even go out there because
so does the Undertaker.
Yeah. You watch Floyd?
Huh?
You watch Floyd? How is Floyd?
He trains for that.
You just said Carmelo's ripped.
I'm pretty sure he looks ripped.
Carmelo and Charles Oakley. I want to see it. I'll pay good. What price you paying to see them fight in the parking lot somewhere? Just a drunk brawl.
At least $25.
I go 50. Easy. I pay for that. Easy. I watch you fight Shaq.
That's not a fair fight.
That ain't a fair fight. I'm just gonna run, so it really doesn't matter. Like, that's stupid. I'm not gonna walk into that ass whoop.
Yeah, that's real shit. Welcome back to Out of Bounds. I'm Pierce Simpson. We hope that you had a great weekend. On today's episode, we're going to discuss whether or not the Celtics are enduring some karma because of how they treated IT. But before we get into all that, I'm joined here by the usual cast of characters. I got Complex Sports editor, Mr. Adam Caparell. Cap, how you feeling, brother? All black? Are we mourning something from this weekend? Or did we keep some money? Is it?
No, we're on a hot streak right now, so we're doing well.
We're on a hot streak. That's what we're on.
Ripped off 7 in a row this weekend.
Okay.
Mourning something. He always was black.
Yeah, he's always wearing black. Next to Adam Caparell is 3-time NBA All-Star and All-Pro, Mr. Gilbert Arenas. Hibachi, how you feeling, man?
I was feeling good
until
I looked over at his shirt.
What's wrong with my shirt?
I'm trying to figure out if you put it on Friday or you gonna take it off Friday. I'm trying to figure out because it's Monday, dog. Like,
gotta have a Friday mindset.
That reminds me of when girls used to wear the panties that had the everyday on it, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then you catch them on a Thursday with Monday panties on.
What year was this?
It's like early 94, 5. You remember when they had the...
I remember, but I never would have thought that I'd walk into work and be
You were like 12 then.
Me?
Yeah, but little girls, the little girls you're hollering at it, but they had the little Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah,
this just looks awkward to me.
It's
like Thursday with a Monday. Like, yo, what's going on? What's going on here? What's going on with the Friday shirt?
All right, it's Monday's episode. We're already here. We're already in midweek form.
Yeah, get it going.
Baseball season is here, whether you're happy or not. We know that you've laid a lot of money down.
That's right. Yankees, Metsies last night, yes.
Yeah, and we had some interesting things happen in baseball. On Sunday, home plate umpire Tim Timmons and Cardinals manager Mike Matheny had to restrain St. Louis catcher Yadier Molina after Diamondbacks manager Torey Lovullo gestured at him and referred to him, in quotes, as motherfucker after his third strike. The incident happened at the top of the second inning, and both benches, cleared. They did their usual, which I don't understand that the relievers run from the outfield whenever bench is clear, but that's a topic.
Tradition.
That's a topic for another day. But after the game, Molina told the media, Lovullo called me a motherfucker twice. If you're going to call somebody that, you better be ready to fight. You can't talk to a player like that or an umpire. You got to be professional. After the incident, Lovullo said, I was just going out there to talk about something with the umpire and was referencing something and used a poor choice of words and he took offense to it. I wish I could take back what I said, but it really wasn't directed at him. It was more of a term of me saying I respect him on that level, that he's getting certain things because he's that good. Lovullo also acknowledged that he probably took things a little too far. Now, it's not often that somebody in sports who hears things all the time from fans or other players take such offense to the word of motherfucker. Are players too sensitive nowadays, Mr. Gilbert Arenas?
I think so. Yeah. Like, motherfucker, that is like, that's one of those words that's just...
That's yeah. I've heard that. My parents have referred to me as motherfucker. So like
that's what I'm saying, because you can usually like, yo, hey, that motherfucker's nice right there. Right. Like that's a compliment.
Yeah,
oh,
if somebody's shouting at you in like a confrontational manner, that's not.
But it's not shouting at you. If I'm shouting like, yo, you keep giving this motherfucker calls.
Yeah.
Like, that's not you. I'm trying to let him know that you're giving this motherfucker calls over here. It's like one of those things, and I'm guaranteed that's how it went.
And Lovullo kind of alluded to that. It was more of a respect thing. That
he said that afterwards.
Good.
But like, essentially, you're going at Yadier Molina, and I'll get inside baseball right now, but like, he's great at framing pitches, and both teams were having issue with the low strike calls from Tim Timmons. So if Lovullo comes out and yells, this motherfucker that, this motherfucker this, like in the heat of, battle, you're essentially yelling at Yadier Molina for what he does best, and it's a swipe at him. So I can see see him easily getting pissed off, and in my opinion, I would call fair on that.
But the wording is like that's not one of those words that you actually get mad about.
You don't get mad at anything, though.
It's a passive-aggressive word.
I mean, if Yadier...
Is it?
Yeah, it's a passive-aggressive in sports.
Oh, I can see what you're saying. It depends on the context. But if Yadier Molina played against somebody like Kevin Garnett, it would drive him insane.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like it's a passive-aggressive. Like, yo, hey, who got this motherfucker right here? Oh, look, they served this motherfucker in.
Oh, because he's not addressing his name.
It's not addressing, but I'm addressing you.
But again, a one-on-one situation, I think that'd be different for athletes in the heat of battle. If someone called you, you motherfucker this, you motherfucker that, you're gonna get set off though, right?
And it's very strange because we've seen baseball managers get very confrontational with players and address them as that, but in those situations the other team didn't take offense to it.
Because that's what I'm saying. They're like, hey, you motherfucker, you need to stop doing this in my picture. Like, oh.
Okay. But again, if another coach addressed you in that manner and got, again, kind of a little bit heated with you and there was a tinge to it that wouldn't set you off, if another coach and opposing
one of those words? That word?
But here's the weird thing, it's like why baseball is always so backwards sometimes and abides by these old traditional rules. Look at the NBA recently. We had the situation where the Clippers and Rockets got into it earlier this year. Blake Griffin, who was then a member of the Clippers, bumped into Mike D'Antoni. And Mike D'Antoni said some choice words to him, but you didn't see Blake crying about it in the post-game press conference.
Well, I mean, the players kind of took care of it. It wasn't between
they tried to.
Well, they tried to.
They tried to. Give a little fouls here. Yeah.
This was unusual that you had a player and coach go at it. It happens every once in a while in baseball. The one thing I'll say is that for Torey Lovullo, he was the 2007 NL Manager of the Year, so he has respect within the game. But Yadier Molina has more respect in the game than Torey Lovullo. He's going to be a future Hall of Famer. And the other thing I'll say with Yadier Molina, you should not fuck with guys that have neck tattoos. Yadier Molina has neck tattoos. So choose your words wisely around guys with neck tattoos.
Like I just don't understand, like, I've never really seen many opposite coach and players going at it. Like, what is the opposite coach actually saying that has your attention as a player? Like, what do you mean? Like if you're playing against Golden State and I'm playing, what is Steve Kerr saying to his team that can actually irritate me?
Yeah.
Push that motherfucker left. He can't go left.
Yeah. So if anything, how do you block that out? You just don't. It's not even registered.
It doesn't even register. Like nothing he can say registers over here.
Right.
And he's like, hey, clothesline that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna whoop that motherfucker's ass. Whoop his ass. I don't know how to. Like that's what I'm saying. It's really nothing. Like I've never.
Do you think it's something deeper that we don't know about?
No.
Just
probably just sensitive at the moment.
Yeah, again, you have two guys that are well respected. Last year's NL Manager of the Year, a guy's gonna be a future Hall of Famer. Some words set him off. You're kind of going at, again, what makes Yadier Molina so good at pitch framing. Yeah. So I can easily see why he got set off. He chose the wrong choice of words. He was contrite about it afterwards. So, but I kind of
bad choice of words.
That's what he said. He said it was a bad choice of words.
I can say if he said, listen.
That's nothing. He's upset about motherfucker. Like I said, my parents have called me that multiple times. Like,
it's a normal word.
The heat of the battle.
Who knows? Players getting too soft? That's the verdict. Yeah.
Soft.
Cotton
soft.
Soft.
Till he's soft.
Yeah, I said it. SOF, capital T.
He probably sits when he pees.
Oh, wow.
That's how soft.
That's an accusation.
That's how soft he is. Wow.
All right. Keeping it locked with baseball, we need to talk about Shohei Ohtani's near perfect Sunday. So if you guys didn't see this yesterday, the 23-year-old Japanese pitcher and slugger, who has been referred to as the Japanese Babe Ruth, took the mound for the Angels yesterday in his first home start and was pretty damn phenomenal. Had a perfect game through 6 innings, pitched 7 full with 12 strikeouts, and ended up with a 1-hitter. And prior to that, Ohtani had homered in 3 straight games. So obviously off to a phenomenal start, the Japanese import. And he said after the game, quote, especially with how my spring training went, I wasn't really imagining the start of the season to be this good, to be honest. I feel better every day. I feel like I'm getting used to everything more and more each day, but it's just the first week. Yeah. Throw it to you, Gil, first and foremost, because you play with some foreign guys during your NBA career. How difficult is it for guys to come over from a different country, a different culture, and assimilate and obviously just get off to a great start the way Ohtani has so far?
You got to ask them.
What?
What does that mean?
What?
Gotta ask them. What? No. Nah.
Yo, it just took a detour quick. I was just like, wait, what?
I mean, I played with, first foreigner, I think was Yuri Welsh. Yeah. I mean, it's, the game from over there, especially basketball is different. You know, they played, you know, like not an inside out, but they was more out. They were new NBA. Yeah. What's so funny is the way
we're playing now.
What we're playing now, it's the style they played. So they wasn't used to the contact, the physical. So it was a little different, you know, especially. But I don't think it was no different than him coming and me coming from college. You know, 82 games, being on the road, not really knowing anybody. So, you know, Yuri spoke English. You know, so it wasn't a language barrier.
Yeah. But it's got to be tough. I mean, there's got to be some awkwardness in communicating and getting to know each other.
I think it's tougher for Americans to go overseas than it is for overseas to come here because they can find their food here. We can't find our food there.
And that's the biggest gripe that athletes have going over there.
Yeah.
Huh. So you just McDonald's all day?
Yeah.
But the McDonald's is different over there.
But it's McDonald's. It's where we find what we know. You know, like a Japanese guy, he can find 1 million Japanese restaurants in Los Angeles or wherever he's at that's going to be good for him. Finding an American restaurant in Japan is like,
And then how do you get over the language barrier over there?
Yeah, it has to be difficult.
I mean, you usually have a translator, and that translator probably needs a translator too.
What do you mean?
Okay, because usually the translator they hire you, he has broken English. You know, so you need a translator for that guy too, because it's like it's one of those things where it's kind of hard. But you know, when I played in China, and I mean, it's just give me the rock. You know, you know I'm a dude.
That was United States. That was here.
That's the universal basketball language.
You know, I mean, but it is hard to try to, you know, like, yo, go over here and do that, and then the translator got to translate, and you don't even know if he's saying the shit right.
But was there ever a point where you do get in the game and it just clicks and you're just like, you know,
with basketball, you don't have to, you don't really need to speak to play basketball. You can just point like, well, get out of there, you know.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know, in sports is, you know, you can use hand language to move everybody around.
Yeah.
You know, if he got up there and says, everybody know he about to hit that motherfucker out of the field. Like, you need a translator for that, goddammit.
I mean, Ohtani put one out deep the other night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how many?
Because he's like a sensation where he pitches, plays outfield, right?
Yeah, he's the Babe Ruth of Japanese baseball. There's a ton of hype.
Japanese baseball or new school baseball?
Japanese baseball. So Japanese baseball is a little bit different than American baseball. There's some differences to it.
Rules?
No, the rules are the same essentially, but the baseball's a little bit different. The way they play the game, the way pitching. You know, in America, you know, starting pitchers here pitch every 5 days. In Japan, they pitch every 7 days, so there's more rest for pitchers. But Ohtani came in with a ton of hype. He had an atrocious spring training, got shelled, didn't do anything with the bat, and he obviously came out of the gates in the regular season on fire. I will throw cold water on it, however, because his 2 starts came against the A's, who are going to be atrocious this year.
Sounds about
Their
right.
Vegas win total is only 74.5, which means you're one of the bottom 7 or 8 teams in the league. So let's not go crazy. Although he did take Corey Kluber deep the other day, who's one of the best pitchers in the American League.
But I mean, do you have a lot of pitchers that are actually home run hitters?
No, that's so rare. Yes,
very rare, very rare.
So he's a freak.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yes.
Where no matter what, he can be great at either one of those positions.
Yeah, we've never
If
seen.
he's great at both of them, he's probably MVP that year.
What he's attempting to do right now with the Angels, be a designated hitter and a pitcher simultaneously, is pretty much never been done since the American League adopted the designated hitter back in the 70s.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, you see it.
I got to watch him then.
Yeah, I mean, you see pitchers that go through issues and translate to other positions, like we saw with Rick Ankiel, but I can't remember anybody simultaneously doing both at the same time, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's just fascinating to see how it unfolds. I mean, again, it's the A's, 2 starts against the A's, a crap team.
Yeah.
You know, let's see him do this against the better teams in the American League, but
we
so
know how
far,
the
so
Angels,
good.
we know how the Angels do. They'll pay all the money and then, you know, never follow through in the postseason.
Oh.
You know. Oh, that was low blow? Sorry. I'm sorry.
Early in the season.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying. But switching to the association, the NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and a team that we thought would be destined to make the Eastern Conference Finals might not make it out the first round. Look, he's laughing.
What are you laughing
And I'm trying to finish. And he's
You
just
said
laughing.
destined. Who said they were destined? You two?
Can I finish the setup?
Okay,
Can I finish the setup? Thank
It
you.
just caught me off guard.
Can I finish the setup? So, news broke last week that Kyrie Irving will miss the rest of the regular season and playoffs due to getting screws removed from his patella tendon, the injury he suffered in 2015 NBA Finals that we all remember during Game 1, I believe. Kyrie out for the playoffs. Gordon Hayward broke his ankle and tibia first game of the season against the Cleveland Cavaliers. What the Celtics are going through right now with all the different types of injuries. I mean, even Gordon Hayward's dog had to get ACL reconstruction surgery here recently. Is this sports karma coming back to fruition for how they treated IT, whether it was misdiagnosing his hip injury, making him play through it, and then trading him after he gave a valiant effort during last year's NBA playoffs? Is this karma? Okay, we know your answer, Adam Caparel.
Immediate hand wave to that.
Immediate hand wave.
There's no karma, really. Like, shit happens.
Exactly.
I mean, shit happens.
That's what we're going to
You go through things. I mean, the trade they made was what they were supposed to do.
What do you mean?
You know, getting rid of IT was what they were supposed to do.
But here's the thing.
No matter if he was hurt or healthy,
Here's the thing. Yes, this is sports karma. This is not even sports karma. This is just actual karma because you don't do these types of things to play. I understand the business aspect. I get it. But there is a scenario in which if you knew foul things were happening behind the scenes, you knew the medical staff was misdiagnosing players and potentially you had a conflict like we're seeing play out in San Antonio right now with Kawhi Leonard, then you have to do right by him in some capacity. But you just don't ship him out like that.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. If you're going to get Kyrie Irving back,
Kyrie and Gordon?
Yes.
Of
course from a business standpoint, yes. But I mean,
what I'm
karma's
saying,
coming back right now.
Karma. Like,
what is it then?
I can't misdiagnose you. If you're hurt, you know you're hurt. I can't say, it's just a sore, and you know if you're hurt or not. But what he was doing is he wanted to play.
Yeah. So
I don't have to misdiagnose. Like if he thinks he can play, he's gonna play.
But as the LA Times reported, he wanted to play to numb the pain of losing his sister, which he lost in the. He
decided to do that. But that's what I'm saying. So when it came down to it, you got to talk about a guy. Listen, he's a killer.
Yeah.
We can say that he's a go-getter.
he's a closer.
He's a shark. He smells blood. He's going. The knock on him is 5'9". That's his problem.
Yeah.
So you have a franchise type of mindset and a franchise score in a non-franchise body.
Yeah.
So if you're Boston, you're Cleveland, you are going to trade that guy every time to get something for him, because what he needs to understand is you're a hired gun.
Yeah.
You're never going to be somebody's franchise guy. No one's ever going to pay a 5'9" guy $240 million, even though your ability is respecting that type of money. No one's going to spend the money on you. Yeah. No one's going to say, you know what, I'm going to build my team around a 5'9" guy who doesn't make anybody better, even though I don't ever believe in making people better, because it's a stupid phrase. A 5'9" guy who's ball dominant.
Listen,
you're not going to pay that. So he's a hired gun. So just like the Lakers, if they can get something for him or let him go, no one's going to pay him 4 year, 5 years. So his best bet is to just mentally say, listen, I'm a hired gun. I'm Jamal Crawford. I'm Lou Williams. Yeah. I'm here to do what I do best. I'm going to be a journeyman. But while I'm going to be a journeyman, I'm going to sign 2 year, $40 million deals with an option after my first, or 1 year, 17, and just 1 to 2 year nick everybody. They will sign you for that. They're not going to sign you 4 or 5 years. No one's going to put that kind of longevity into a 5'9" guy.
I see.
So he's going to get traded every single time.
Listen, from the business standpoint and the Celtics position, I understand it. If you're offered Kyrie Irving and you can trade Isaiah Thomas for that, listen, I understand it. But from just a pure karma standpoint, considering how things went down and how things transpired, and how he put the team on his back during the times in the playoffs last year, knowing he was injured, to go up against the Cleveland Cavaliers, even though his hip was just destroyed, and then to lose out on the payday that he lost out on.
And guess what that did? It gave me.
What did it give you?
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
That's what it gave them. It gave them Kyrie Irving. It gave them, Hayward. That's what he did. He sacrificed. If he would have sat down and then came back this year and did exactly what he's doing now, what is his fucking worth?
It's just one of those weird things.
What is this worth?
Yeah.
What is this worth this year?
Right.
We'll just say he's in Boston and it all planned out the same way. What is his worth?
As what do you mean?
As a player, he's gonna go into free agency. You don't get nothing in return. You lose him, and boom, you have nothing to show for. That was their best thing to do.
The Celtics flipped the asset well, and the Cleveland Cavaliers didn't do their due diligence to find him.
No,
they did, but they didn't try to put the pressure on the Celtics for more assets in return. But
they didn't need more assets. They knew what they were getting too. They did the physical also. Yeah. They got something for the guy, and then they got something else for the guy. Yeah.
But
that's what everyone's done at this part. Everyone played a smart role.
Yeah, very true. So You laughed during the setup when I said that this team could have been poised to make the Eastern Conference Finals. They had an incredible winning streak to begin the year. They were number one in the Eastern Conference for a long time before the Toronto Raptors locked and sealed that pole position. With Gordon Hayward out for the rest of the season, now Kyrie Irving out for the rest of the season, it's pretty much Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart. Where do we think the Celtics will end up in the first round? Do we think they get out the first round, or do we think they'll end up in the playoffs?
Heat, Milwaukee, and the Wizards.
That's who they got to play potentially.
Are fighting for 7th spot.
They want 7 as opposed to.
Oh yeah. You want the 7th spot because you're going against Boston first. Mm-hmm. A wounded Boston. Like whoever gets that 7th spot, you can basically say, all right, it's going to be 4-1 or 4-2.
You would think the Wizards want that most based on the final last year.
Yeah.
The Wizards, but if I'm the Wizards, going 7th or staying 8th really doesn't matter to me. Because they know how to play Toronto. Yeah. And that's who their first round is if they stayed 8th. And then you have Milwaukee in Heat. You know, Milwaukee right now is in 7th. Yeah. And I know with 2 games left, Orlando and 76ers, they can probably end up in the 7th spot and they will beat Boston.
But if you gave the Wizards a lie detector test, they would tell you they want the Celtics. I mean, you want the Celtics. What ends up happening the way this is now, because 2 is Boston, and they will be replaced by whoever's in 7th, Philadelphia automatically goes to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Huh.
So you're predicting a Philly
Cleveland
Eastern Conference Final.
Philly Cavs Eastern
I'm fine with that as long as Embiid's back.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
I have no desire to see that if there's no Embiid, though.
Yeah, I mean, if there's no, I mean, they play Heat. They can get by Heat without Embiid. And then, from there, they're playing Milwaukee.
Yeah. Shout out to the Philadelphia 76ers.
You know what I mean? It's not like they're playing Boston. They're playing Milwaukee second round.
That was a fun game over the weekend, by the way.
It was impressive.
But the assertion that was one of the best games of the season in the NBA is absurd.
Yeah, very much so.
People were going crazy.
Was it 2 triple doubles and all that?
Yeah.
But it pales in comparison to the Sixers Thunder game back in December.
But it might have just
other games too.
But it might have been exciting for the simple fact we saw Ben Simmons go off as he has been this.
And you saw LeBron do crazy things.
You saw LeBron still
with a
dunking
massive
on
comeback.
folks.
Yes, it was a fun, entertaining game. But let's not get crazy.
Yeah, let's not get crazy. And shout out to the Philadelphia 76ers getting 50 wins for the first time since 2001. So
also shout out to me for taking the Cavs in-game line when they were down by about.
What's wrong with him,
points.
Man?
It's called value and taking advantage of the line.
It's called what? Game within the game.
Exactly, game within the game, baby. You know, Pierce is learning.
Learning.
All right, keep it locked with the NBA. Paul George says he can see himself sticking with OKC. As they laugh about that, we're going to talk about that in the poll.
What is that? What?
Yes, we can also see Trump going to an NAACP rally too at some point. So,
yeah, I can see
anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
So the All-Star forward who will become an unrestricted free agent this summer said he can see himself signing with the Thunder this offseason. His decision does not hinge on the team winning a championship later on the season. So we know the struggles of the Thunder this year, got off to a poor start, got things together again. Then the Andre Roberson injury, when that happened, actually really did affect them.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that in a second. But when asked about staying with OKC and if the team has to win a title for him to resign, PG said, quote, "I can see myself being here. I've been happy here. I've been happy with the organization, happy with my teammates. I'm not going to let the playoffs or how we finish this season persuade or indicate where I'm going to this offseason." I have more, but do you want to interject right now?
This is why you hate reporters.
What?
Yeah, let me hear this. Go ahead.
He's the reporter. Why would you say that with him right here?
We're getting ready for playoffs in the end of the season, trying to position ourselves.
It's getting spicy.
For the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you motherfuckers is asking if I'm staying or leaving. Obviously, I have to say that I'm fucking staying, because if I'm saying I'm leaving while I'm in the middle of the season with the team I'm supposed to be leaving, you fuck up the chemistry.
You know why?
So it's stupid. Why ask the dumbass question knowing you're going to get a dumb, stupid-ass response?
You know why we have to ask you motherfuckers this question? It's because the fans demand this. The fans are talking about this shit all the time. So we have to ask the questions.
No one's talking about it. It's stories everyone's making up. Like, let this man finish off the season. Ask him that the last game. You're putting so much pressure on, like, yo, you're leaving this season. Like, yo, chill out, B. Like, what I'm supposed to say? Yeah, fuck.
You can say whatever you want, but the question has to be asked.
No.
It's an important narrative for that team and for that player.
But you're going to get a lie. There's no way he's not staying
So what?
in OKC.
He can lie, that's fine, but the question has to be asked.
But listen, why? What's the point of asking a question if you know you're going to get a lie? No, he's not staying in fucking KC.
Okay, good.
Okay?
So he's gone.
He's gone. I mean, it's OKC. He's a star playing behind a mega star. No, I'm going to take my talents here to Los Angeles, where I'm the king of California, because there's no true star here anymore. So, yes, I'm going to bring my talents here, and I am the star of LA.
Agreed.
By myself. I am not staying in fucking OKC.
Sorry. Yeah, Snowball's
championship or no championship. I'm taking my talent here. You're gonna hear it. I'm taking my talent to Los Angeles.
Just like that.
You're gonna hear that, okay? I decided what's best for my career and family. I'm taking my talent. Like, come on, I don't even know why they even waste their time saying this.
Y'all sound like my drunk uncles at Thanksgiving or something. It just turned real combative. I love it.
But you don't believe Paul George either.
No, I don't. Because the line he said, I can see myself. That's not an answer. I can see myself.
I can see myself married.
You can see yourself anywhere. Yeah, I can see myself somewhere.
I mean, he said, the other stuff he said, quote, "This is year one for this group. We got a chance to win it all, but realistically, it takes time for things to build and the chemistry to mesh, just for everybody being on the same page. So this wasn't a championship or bust coming into this for me. It was just an opportunity to see what it's like being here and just to naturally fall in love with it. And it's been that. It's been a lot of love here."
Got another question for y'all. I might be coming off the top rope with this one. We sure Paul George is a franchise player?
Yeah.
Where you can just build your franchise around him. As the best. Can he win a championship as the best guy on the team?
I mean, it depends on what kind of big man you have.
No. You want to pair him with a big man or a point guard?
Yeah.
Big man.
Why?
Because he's a scorer. So he doesn't need a point guard. Just give him the ball and he can make it. He can create his own shot.
Like the Bradley Beal.
So yeah, he's a creator. So you get him with a nice three. You get him with a nice three, a nice big man where they can play inside outside game. Yes, he can win. Yeah. So like he has the talents to carry his team.
So because you made the voice where you said that Paul George is going to take his talents to LA, and what you say? I'm going to take my talents to LA. Probably can't even do the voice again. It was that impressive. What do you think the ceiling is for this OKC roster heading into the playoffs if they make the playoffs? Because that's still a possibility they could not make it.
So funny. They're the dark horse because no one's paying attention to them.
To win the title?
No.
Oh.
No, man. Like out of here. No.
I had it. I was like, wait.
No. So right now where they're sitting, in seventh, if I'm OKC and the way the playoffs is, I'm playing chess right now. Yeah. I'm playing chess with the season because I want to play Golden State Warriors. Yeah. That's who I want to play. I want to stay in seventh, play a wounded Warrior team without Curry. Yeah. And I know that group knows they can beat Golden State with if Curry's out of that lineup. It is going to be hard to beat OKC because you do have a big three there.
Right.
Even if I don't like that they don't use Melo in that last 5 minutes of the game because that's where he's great at.
That's his game.
Melo's game is the beginning of the game. He comes out like a microwave. Yeah. And then at the end because he's a one-on-one player. Yeah. So I don't like that they don't know how to use him. Russell doesn't use him well in that instance. But if it does click, you have three guys who will kill you. That's on the same team.
1,000%.
So them going against Golden State, I'm pretty sure Houston is like, yes.
Get him out.
I know Houston is like, yes.
Beat him up a little bit.
Yeah, beat him, get rid of him.
Oh, well,
if you get rid of
well, of course, yes.
So even if you're Houston, like the last game, Houston takes the dive.
Oh, wow.
Houston takes the dive because if OKC loses, OKC falls into eighth.
Yeah.
But the first two teams win, so everyone stayed the same.
So you think it's some gamesmanship by all those teams in the playoffs right now, just jockeying?
Jockeying because you got to remember, if Golden State is second, right? OKC beats them. OKC plays Portland. I guarantee Portland's happier with that one. I guarantee OKC is happier with that one. Because if you're OKC and you go to 6, right? You beat on, who's that 6? You beat on.
But let's not even jump the gun on that. I want to ask.
It ain't. No.
I know, but I just want to ask this question because it has me thinking. Let's say OKC remains in 7. knocks off Golden State at 2. Does that Golden State team change going into next season? Do you have to make changes if you lose?
You don't make changes. What are you making changes
You
for?
say yes?
1,000,000%, because I've heard from guys much closer to the action and much closer to the game than me talk about how they feel that to begin with there's going to be some changes this offseason up in Golden State, and especially if there's a disappointing finish to the season.
Right.
I think you see Draymond out of there.
I mean, if they win a championship and they're going to get rid of Draymond, they're going to get rid of. I mean, a championship for Golden State doesn't take Draymond out or keep Draymond. Like, if they're going to get rid of him, they're going to get rid of him.
Yeah.
That's just.
But it's much easier for disappointing.
No, because you're losing because
changes.
one of your studs is gone,
Yeah.
and you're facing a juggernaut that you didn't want to face.
That makes sense. But fellas, pretty important news. We got a friend of the show. Ryder came by the studio last week. We couldn't link up with him because we weren't here, but he toured the studio, got to sit in your chair, I believe. So if y'all give a shout out to Ryder out there. Ryder, what's up, man? Gilbert, you got anything to say?
Who the fuck is Ryder?
Can you show Ryder some love, bro?
Wow.
Who the fuck is Ryder?
It's a child, man.
Oh, you just threw a name out there. I don't.
It's a child, and his mother works over there.
Oh, I didn't know. You're supposed to say
You are
something.
wilding, dog.
What I'm saying, you're supposed to say that. You just don't throw out names. I'm like,
Hey, Ryder, can I
like
just say-
Rough Rider? I don't know. Like one of the Rough Riders came.
Hey,
through. I don't know.
Ryder, I try to give you a sweet and great message from the cast and crew here, and you got a traditional out-of-bounds welcome. from
Sorry,
the
Ryder.
Gilbert
Hey,
Arenas.
thank you for coming. You probably sat in this seat.
Yeah, yeah.
How you doing, Ryder? Like, you gotta come on. You gotta throw the lob. Right? See, he's a bad point guard.
I'm a bad point. I said, Gilbert, we had somebody visit the show. They visited the studio. We weren't there. So I'm already bringing in the fact that it's somebody that's a friend of the show. And you just go off the rails.
No. You're supposed to say, hey, we had a kid visit the show by the name of Ryder.
He wanted to qualify as kid, otherwise.
Yeah, qualify as kid. Yeah.
Cap, anything
I don't know if it was a sports person.
Thank you for coming by.
I don't know if it was somebody in sports. I didn't.
But you just greet him with the who the fuck ass. It was excellent. Hopefully you
Like
don't.
I'm supposed to know him.
And well, hopefully you don't greet Peter Rosenberg this way if he invites you on Open Late, which will premiere this Thursday only on Complex. You know, Complex is doing big things. This
Big things.
I believe it's pronounced Big Tings.
big things. Oh,
Big
you got an accent now? Yeah, okay.
What was that? 2000 what? 15? Like 2015?
15, something like that. You know, hey, he catching up.
I sent you the new Drake track. That's why.
Oh, he did. He did.
yeah,
Shout out to Cap.
I do.
But this wraps up the latest edition of Out of Bounds for Adam Caparel. Kid cussing and just that guy.
Hot take right here.
Gilbert Arenas. I'm Pierce Simpson. We'll see you tomorrow. This is
If Golden State. If Golden State gets knocked out of the playoffs, Cavs wins the championship this year.
Over the
my
Rockets.
words.
Why?
To beat LeBron, you need 3 megastars. Houston doesn't have 3 megastars.
They got one.
Agreed.
They got 1.5. They got one who can carry 40. You need 3 to beat LeBron James. And that's why Golden State can do it.
Yeah, they got.
So,
No one's beating him with just like you got to have a team to beat this one man.
so if LeBron got them another championship, would that make it easier for him to leave? I don't think he's going to leave. I'm just saying, would it make it easier for him to leave?
Who?
Cleveland.
If LeBron's going to leave, it don't have nothing to do with championship or not. I mean, if he's going to leave, he's going to leave.
I don't think he's leaving.